things don't go right. Always tripping when it don't go right. Maybe you should give it just one try. Baby, let's give it just one try. One try, one try.
Hey everyone, I'm Nefertiti Gold and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at my studio desk and my current setup. If this is your first time visiting my channel or watching one of my videos, definitely feel free to like and subscribe if you like what you see. Today's video is sponsored by DistroKid, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So without wasting any time, let's just get right into it, starting with my desk. Now for my desk, it is a standing desk, but I definitely bought everything separate. The motorized legs I got off of Amazon at the time for about maybe $120, $130. I do remember I got a really good deal on it instead of spending like maybe $500, $600 on an actual standing desk. And for the tabletop of my desk, I actually got it from IKEA as a budget solution, and I probably spent like another $50 for that. Now, as far as what's on top of my desk, I do have a custom made rack unit that I got from niceracks.com. Now, when I first got my rack unit, I definitely knew that I wanted it to be more of a utilitarian kind of unit instead of housing just rack unit hardware. I do have the option to put in 3 rack units, but for the time being, I only have 2. The first one being the power conditioner, in which I basically have everything from my desk plugged into this so that I can turn on my desk basically with one switch. So the other rack unit that I have is a microphone amplifier from Heritage Audio. It's the HA73, which is modeled after the Neve 1073 preamp/EQ rack unit. Now, the reason why I have this microphone amplifier is that the current interface that I use is the Scarlett 6i6, but I first got this interface about 10 years ago or more, and it's definitely still working. And instead of having to buy a whole new interface when I do have one that's perfectly working, I pair it with this microphone amplifier to get the most out of it. And right next to my interface is a YouTube subscriber counter that I got off of Etsy a couple years back. I remember when I first got it, I think I only had about 200-ish subscribers. So it's been definitely motivating to actually see that number slowly rise over the last year or so. On the other side of the rack unit, I have a storage drawer in which I just keep kind of like random items, cables that I frequently use, some tools, maybe some tape. I also keep some extra hard drives and memory cards in there as well. And underneath the drawer, I do have a slide out tray, which was originally made to accommodate a Korg synthesizer I had. Now, since then, I sold the synthesizer and now I just use it to store my video switcher and my stream deck, in which I pull out every time I'm ready to stream. And then once I'm done, I just tuck it right back in. Now, I've gotten questions in the past exactly what my streaming setup is. And if you guys want a more detailed video about what's plugged into where, definitely let me know in the comments below. Now, on top of my rack unit, you'll find that my Mac Mini is on there. I have a Moog synthesizer that also sits up top. Obviously, my monitor as well, which is basically a gaming monitor that I got off of Amazon like a year and a half ago. I forget how much it was at the time, but I do remember that it was a pretty decent price for a widescreen monitor. This is also where I attach my video camera that I use for streaming or Zoom calls, and then I also have like a small light panel attached to my desk as well. Now, this corner of my desk is not normally seen by anyone. Wires are just pretty much everywhere, and I'm hoping in the next couple months or so I can find a different solution that kind of cleans up the mess. And of course, right next to my computer, I do have a USB hub for all of the controls that I need to plug into my computer, as well as MIDI keyboards. Now, before we get on to the next part, I do want to talk about today's sponsor, which is DistroKid. DistroKid has all of the latest tools that are meant to help you push out your music easier and faster. And one of the unique ways that DistroKid can help you out is by helping you get your cover songs licensed through DistroKid. And since the holiday season is right around the corner, I know that there are a lot of musicians out there that are bound to record a cover song to maybe some of your favorite holiday songs. And maybe you do want to upload it on all the major streaming sites. So through DistroKid, you don't really have to worry about that aspect. All you need to focus on is just recording your song and getting it uploaded. If you're already a DistroKid member, it's only going to be $12 per song per year to have this done. And of course, if you use my DistroKid link in the description below, you do get 7% off your first year. Now let's keep it pushing. Now to the right of my desk, I do have a refurbished, recalibrated TIAC tape machine from the 70s or 80s, I do believe. And I mostly use this to resample samples and to also add some analog tape saturation to pretty much anything I decide to run through it. Now, because this is recalibrated, refurbished, it actually sounds amazing. It adds this analog tape warmth that is just unparalleled. And I love the fact that the imprint that it does have on my songs can't really be replicated with a plugin. And then to the right of that, I have like a utility tray that basically has even more cables and wires that I do tend to use around the studio as I'm recording, even making these videos, so that anything that I need is already right next to me, it's on hand, and it's easy to reach for the moment. I also like to use this table for just about anything. There have been times where I'll clear it out, I'll put some gear up, and I'll set up my camera and I'll record a video. Now, in regards to the last few items that are actually on my desk, in regards to my keyboard and my mouse, I do have both my keyboard and my mouse wired into my computer. I've noticed that the Mac Mini in particular has some issue with Bluetooth connectivity, and I've seen other people have issues with this no matter what the product is, whether it's a third-party keyboard and mouse or if it's an Apple product. The Mac Mini, for whatever reason, just has issues with Bluetooth connectivity, and for me, it's less of a headache if I just have everything already wired in. Now, for my mouse, I do use a Kensington trackball mouse, and the reason I chose this is because I spend a lot of time on my computer and I'm very susceptible to carpal tunnel, and it's less stress and strain on my wrist. It does take a little while to get used to, but like once you're used to it, like you'll realize just how much like your hand is really relaxed. And another item that is on my desk is the Senal gooseneck microphone. It's not the typical microphone that most people tend to use as far as like live streaming goes, but I've gone through a couple of different microphones and I really just settled on this one. I really like how slim and low profile it is, and it's like pretty much out the way. Now I can either use the solid base that it came with, or in my instance, a lot of the times I actually unplug it out of the base and plug it directly into the mic input of my video streamer. And that's all I have for you guys today. It's my first studio desk tour, and I hope you like my setup as I have it so far. I'm pretty sure this is bound to change in the future. I'm definitely thinking about upgrading a few parts on here, but so far I absolutely love my desk and what I've done with it, and I hope you guys like it too. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.